All right, I'd like to thank LinkedIn Jobs for being the official college football recruiting sponsor across Locked On Colleges Network. LinkedIn helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Pick up your free profile at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Terms and conditions apply. Also, thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. Very special guest, Brycen Sanders. I hope I got the pronunciation right.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm glad you came on with us today, and we're just going to jump right into it. What made you pick Ole Miss?
Definitely the relationships I have with the coaching staff, especially Coach Thornton. Ever since he took over, I think it was spring of 2021, he's been hard at me ever since. And Ole Miss was my first offer, and Ole Miss, and I mean, even though Coach Thornton wasn't there when they offered me, they've been at me ever since. Even with the coaching change at the O-line position, they've always been at me, and I've always felt the love from them. And I just have the ability to come in early and help them in the interior on the offensive line, because they're probably losing 3 guys this year to the NFL draft. And I think Coach Kiffin's building something special there, and I want to be part of it.
Yeah, it's good to know, and everything. We're certainly glad to have you at Ole Miss and in Oxford. So, how many times have you been to Oxford? What have you noticed about that town? Other than the coaches, what stood out about it?
I went. My first time in Oxford was to the LSU game last fall, and then in April when I went on my official visit there. And what I really liked about Oxford was it was a small town. It's not a big town. I liked the vibe there. It was close knit, kind of just town. The great people there, and they love Ole Miss athletics, and I just want to be a part of that.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, to change gears a little bit, your recruitment is pre-NIL and post-NIL. You're going to be somebody that's kind of right in the middle. How has recruiting changed before to now? Is it a different way it interacts with you? How's it go?
Yeah. So the summer of my junior year, which was or the summer before my junior year, which is last year, when I really started going on unofficial visits, I don't remember them talking about NIL really at all last year. Because last year was kind of the first year it started really happening, and then this year when I went on my official visits, they talked about it a lot. So it's definitely changed from talking about NIL from last year to this year, and it's as you've seen a lot of it's really quarterbacks getting a lot of money, you can definitely see it changing a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And on the offensive line, like probably Jeremy James, Nick Broker, and those guys are going to move on to the next level. How do you see yourself fitting in the Ole Miss offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can play anywhere on the offensive line, but I think what I see myself and what the coaches really see me at is either center or guard. They like how versatile I am at either of those positions, and they like how smart I am if I played center, just because I can read the defenses really well. And I have experience at both of those positions because I played guard last year and my sophomore year, and I'm playing center this year for my high school, so I can do both.
Okay. And we have a guy that's going to come on and break down Ole Miss players. If he breaks down your video, what will he say about Brycen Sanders?
He'll tell you that I'm aggressive. I'll keep blocking you until after the whistle sometimes, and that's just what I do. And I don't really care what people say. It's just who I am, and I'm strong. I'm not gonna let you get past me. I'm a fire off the ball, and I'm quick and fast, and I'm gonna try to put you into the ground.
Okay. And is your recruitment over? Is it still a little bit open? How does it look
Oh no,
between now and
it's over.
it's done? Okay, perfect.
It's over.
All right, so we're going to change gears a little bit because you play in the private school division with Marcel Reed, who is also another Ole Miss commitment. You told me you knew Marcel. Tell me a little bit about Marcel that maybe Ole Miss fans don't know.
He's a hell of a competitor. He's knocked my team out of the playoffs the past 3 years, unfortunately. So, I kind of have some bad blood against him, but it's all fun and games. He's about to be my quarterback for the next couple of years. But he's a hell of a competitor. He's quick. He makes guys miss in the open field, and he's a good guy off the field too.
As somebody that's played him 3 times, everybody on Ole Miss, obviously, they talk about Arch Manning. They missed out on it. They talk about Jaden Rashada. And tell us why Marcel Reed, us getting Marcel Reed is a benefit, and why Ole Miss fans shouldn't be concerned about these high-dollar quarterbacks.
Marcel's not going to let anyone outwork him. He's going to go to work every day, working his butt off. He's got that chip on his shoulder because people have talked about those other quarterbacks, and he knows that. But he's going to go to practice every day, working his butt off, and I think he'll be better than all the other quarterbacks.
And all you guys are working on players moving forward. Who are some of the guys that you're recruiting actively to try and get to Ole Miss before signing day?
Definitely Tyree Adams and DJ Chester, two offensive linemen, and then Neo Avery, who's a defensive end, who just dropped his top forward either yesterday or the day before, which Ole Miss was in. And then really some of those wide receivers that, especially the one in state in Mississippi, who's, I think one of the best wide receivers in the country. I definitely want to get him to Ole Miss.
Okay. Since you've shut down your recruiting and everything, has it gotten quieter, or is it just as hectic as it's always been?
Oh no, it got quieter, which is a good thing for me.
I can imagine. Was your phone blowing up? What does that look like whenever you're at the peak of your recruitment?
Oh yes, it's definitely crazy, overwhelming for sure.
Your audio went out just a little bit.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Every night I was on the phone with 2 or 3 coaches.
It's going out again. Yeah, so it's going out again. I can hear you when yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. It's definitely hectic, but it's something I'm grateful for.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine that in this age, like recruiting, like I go back way back. I was the video coordinator at Ole Miss back ages ago. And I remember what recruiting was like and everything's going on. But with social media and everything happening, I mean, it has to be amped up to like 11 with you guys. And I just really don't envy you guys going through this because, like, we found Patrick Willis back in 2003. Got him. He picked Ole Miss over Tennessee as a kind of situation you could relate to. But nobody knew about Patrick Willis. He just completely fell through the cracks. And this was just a dominant linebacker, and he would be an all-pro player, and he is potentially going to go into the Hall of Fame. But I don't think that can happen these days. Can it?
No, not really, because, especially Twitter. Everyone's on Twitter, and you can see basically any player in the country is where they post their highlights and all that. So it's really hard to miss a good player or a great player like Patrick Willis.
Yeah. Is there any player that you're looking forward to playing with at Ole Miss?
Definitely Eli Acker. So he'll still be there for a couple of years when I get there, and he's a hell of a lineman. And Patrick Cushman, another offensive lineman, I'm excited to play with.
Okay. Should be really good. Anyway, thank you, Brycen, for coming on the show. Best of luck to you as you get ready to sign with Ole Miss in December. Hopefully after you, or before you sign, we can have you back again to talk about what's going on.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, bud. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.